Hello, my name is Mark from MJH Architects, and I'm joined today for this short presentation by my colleague Cosma.
Hello.
With this short film, we're going to be talking about permitted development rights and how they might apply to your extension project. Permitted development rights allow you opportunities to extend your house without applying for planning permission. Certain guidelines apply in terms of size and height. Also, if you are in a conservation area or a listed building or a national park, the criteria might be a bit stricter. As an aid to the discussion, we've prepared some examples from a recent project of ours in Surrey. It is a suburban location, so some of the examples may not apply to your project, but hopefully some of them will. The client, a young family, recently moved into the 1960s detached house and contacted us with the brief of looking to extend the house, increase the size of the kitchen, improve the general flow of the house, and introduce a pantry and utility so that it would be compatible with their current lifestyle. As part of our initial design concept process, we reviewed the permitted development right options.
Thank you, Mark. As you can see, the house is detached and has a generous amount of space to the side and rear of the property. The obvious starting point was to consider extending at the rear. This could be full width or part width, provided it does not extend more than 3 meters for a detached or terrace house or 4 meters for a detached house.
Also, another key point to remember is that this must be built off an original wall, not a previous extension.
As you can see, the full width and 4 meters extension can provide a significant amount of extra space. Please bear in mind the height restrictions under permitted development. A single-story extension must not exceed 4 meters in height and must not exceed 3 meters at the eaves, if it is within 2 meters of the boundary.
Don't worry if that is a little confusing. We are at hand to guide you through the complex parts of the permitted development guidance.
Let's not forget, while we are talking about numbers, you can, with another form of permitted development, apply for a rear extension under prior approval notification. This can increase your extension from 3 meters to 6 meters for a semi-terrace house and from 4 meters to 8 meters for a detached house. The key difference here is that your neighbors will have a chance to object, which is not possible under permitted development. In reality, a 8-meter rear extension can create some internal layout issues with daylight, but these can be cleverly addressed by a good architect.
Yes, that is a particularly good point. And with some gardens, the trade-off with the rear extension is that some part of the garden will be lost.
Indeed, so the side extension was the second option we looked at with the client. Under permitted development, you can extend off a side wall provided the extension is not more than half the width of the existing house. So, if the house is 8 meters wide, the extension can be 4 meters. This property had the benefit of being able to accommodate a 4-meter wide side extension. The benefits of this option are increasing the frontage of the house and maintaining the most valuable part of the garden. One thing to bear in mind with a side extension is the need to avoid long corridors to link new and old spaces. Again, an experienced architect will know how to avoid these problems.
It is worth noting that the same rules apply with height restrictions for side extensions as they do for rear extensions.
Yes, the government made some recent changes to permitted development rights, but you still need planning permission for a 2-story side extension.
They have allowed an additional story under prior approval, but the key thing to be aware of is that it must be in keeping with the surrounding area, which will be difficult to prove if all the surrounding houses are 2-story only.
Back to this project. One thing you cannot do under permitted development is to join a single-story side extension and rear extension to create a wraparound extension. Remember the key point. The extension must be built off an original wall. Planning permission would be required for the wraparound extension. Not to worry. We have secured planning approval for these type of extensions.
Shall we talk about two-story extensions?
Yes, we just touch on it briefly. It is not possible with a side extension, but you can do this as a rear extension. The key criteria here is that you can extend out 3 meters provided it is within at least 7 meters of the rear boundary. The eaves and ridge cannot extend above the existing house, which means a 2-story rear extension is often not more than half the width of the existing house.
Another thing to remember is that the existing materials of the house must be matched with the permitted development additions, although there is some leeway here depending on the local authority. Returning to the exemplar project, with the 2 options of the rear and side extension, the owner decided to go for the rear extension.
Yes, that was influenced by the internal layout. The project is now nearing completion and the owner will have the extra space they needed and an improved layout for the existing house.
Well, thank you for the brief overview of the permitted development options. Obviously, each project is different and some projects are more complex than others. We hope you enjoyed the presentation, and if you would like to discuss your project, please get in touch with us. We provide a free initial design consultation, and should you wish to proceed with our services, we cover assistance with initial brief all the way through to completion.
We look forward to hearing from you.